I just can't let him bomb me. Oh, I mean, this guy's just the GOAT. This dude has this, like, he's the greatest ever at just bombing every defense.
This is the most explosive offense in Madden 26 because it literally breaks every coverage for one-play touchdown bombs. So in this video, I'll be breaking down exactly how I use this offense in high-level competitive games. And both of the games we're covering today were against three-time Madden champion Fancy. Each match took place on 1v1me.com, where over $5,000 was staked, and I was the massive underdog. All right, boys, we got a good one in store for you today. Two different versions of Trips X Nasty, and how they really break every zone defense in the game is what you're going to see in this video. So starting off, first game against Fancy. I don't know why I'm holding number 2. First game against Fancy, and we are starting off with a very simple run play, where I'm targeting that one player, trying to loop around, but he just ends up shooting the run. You simply cannot run inside zone against the DT hover run shoot. If you try, they will shoot your run pretty much every single time. Okay, we do have a solution now. We use a lot of, I'm not going to spoil it, we use a lot of halfback draw. It's really, really effective, but nonetheless, first real passing play, high-low cross. Staple passing play. Now we're going to flip this. We're pretty much, the first game's in Flip X Nasty, we're in Buccaneers. You're actually going to see that every time we're going to come out with our Trips X Nasty on the short side, and then flip it, set up our route combo as soon as we can, try to quick hike him, but pretty much just misalign his defense. Make him have to respect both the short side combos and the wide side combos. And first play, what are we calling here? Oh, this is a great play. I'm going to say this about all of them. I'm not going to lie, I'm biased. It's my offense, right? But we have our tight end crosser here. We have a return, but we also have this really short out route. Now, the goal of this is if they have a hard flat, the hard flat's going to drop really fast, meaning we can throw the out route quickly, like really quickly. But if they have a curl flat, the curl flat's going to go out really fast, allowing us to throw the crab route really quickly. That's pretty much the goal. It's a really simple route combo. We're actually just going to read the flat on that side of the field. And you can see this flat, take a look. Because he's a hard flat, he may have stemmed it. Because he's a hard flat, he's actually going to stick in that middle of the field, right? It may even be a curl flat that bumped into or zone chucked our streak. We'll actually go back and make sure that I'm correct here. So that streak also has the potential to zone chuck curl flats. Let's see actually what happened. Right here, you could tell it is actually, yeah, it's just a hard flat zone that he had stemmed up. And you're going to notice that he stays to the inside because it's a hard flat. This is wide open. I should have thrown this. I don't know why I threw the running back here, but you're going to notice the running back still is open because it was only set at about 10 yards, but we do end up, getting a yard. We could have got a lot more if we actually just looked at our open read, but we did not. Because he moved back, right, you're going to actually see that, well, what happens when they move back like that is even though they're at 10 yards, they stay to the inside to cover the running back. Now, there is also a chance that was just a vert hook and I missed my read, but that is what a flat will look like, and that is the goal of the combo, right? So right here, 3rd and 10, looks like we're calling high-low cross again. Kind of repetitive, I'm not going to lie. I think we're actually, yeah, we saw it. So we just, in-game, this was a bit ago, so I don't remember. But in-game, you see, we saw that this out route was open, and I think we're gunning for it again, right? So you could see, yeah, he stays here. We're like, yeah, this out route's open. We don't miss the read again. We throw it. Simple read, and it's extremely effective, right? You call that a lot against the meta defense. Now, on this next play, you're actually going to see that Fancy does something that not many people were doing at this time. He's actually in the cover 4 quarters meta. Now, that basically means he's setting up the B-gap loop, right? Which is, I'll actually set it up. He's moving this player over and B-gap looping, and he's in cover 4 quarters. Now, one thing you'll notice about cover 4 quarters is even if he has his zone drops on, so let's say this is a hard flat, right? So imagine this is a hard flat, because it is. Even though he has zone drops on, hard flats on, this quarter still has matching responsibilities. So what we're doing here is we're calling high-low dig, stemming down this tight end seam route. And what that tight end seam route actually does is it'll make sure that this inside quarter doesn't cover our slot fade bomb, right? And this slot fade is stemmed up 4.5 times. Now, if he is in that cover 4 quarters, this is a one-play bomb. If he's in cover 3, this is a one-play bomb. If he's in anything but a cover 2, this is a one-play bomb. Now, this out route also gets stemmed up, so you can see that's the final combo. And it looks like I'm also trying to, no, I'm not trying to roll out. I'm just untargeting players here. I'm untargeting his user, making sure the loop doesn't come in. But he's in a cover 2. This is a deep half, and you're going to see the deep half's going to cover this. His flat's running deep. It's going to cover the out route. This player's recovering to the tight end. Nothing's really open, right? Chances are I'm throwing the ball away here. I'm rolling out, looking for something. This was kind of a bad read. I wanted this. I was so used to playing Mutt with QB Playmaker. I was playing a lot of Mutt at the time. So I'm used to my player playmakering straight up field like this. I didn't get full control. He kind of went diagonal, and it kind of put us into traffic there. Now, luckily, we are going to catch this ball, but that is one of those things you have to be aware when you're transitioning from Mutt to regs. QB Playmaker is amazing, but you don't have it in regs. Now, on this next play, we got really cheesy. We used the RPO flat glitch, which is now patched at the time, but as you guys remember, it was super overpowered. You just call a different formation, audible to a play with an RPO bubble. This trips one in trio Y flex was by far the best in the game because this middle receiver here would always pick up his block. And if they were in anything but, you know, something to cover it, like a cover 2 with a hard flat out here, if they were in anything but a cover 2, and they're never in cover 2, it doesn't make sense to be against trips, this would be just a big play. Like I would call this play on like 3rd and 10. And you could see right here, we get it and we speed bursted. He had no chance. He really had no chance, right? So obviously you can't run the RPO flat glitch anymore, but the RPO bubble in Trio Y Flex is still super effective. If you like competitive Madden and want to make real money predicting matches, then look no further than 1v1 Me. Because not only can you watch live games, but you can stake on game outcome with lots of options, including flash stakes, game spreads, and point totals. There's always action on the app. Check it out at 1v1.me/Swolosimo or use code Swolosimo on sign up for a $50 no sweat stake. Now, this next combo, we're probably going to go back to something a bit basic. Actually, no, we're not. I think we refuse to do something basic. So if I called this means I think Fancy's actually using a match coverage. The reason this is good against match coverage, I'll actually break it down, is because if they're in match, right? So let's actually get the marker out. If they're in match, what happens is this player will zone chuck this streak, leaving this out route open, right? That's a big one. And the other reason that this is so good is because in many cases, if I stem him up one time with the D-pad, right? So a full notch, this will actually cause this inside quarter to drop down, leaving the tight end open for a big gain, right? You'll also notice the running back will beat the quarter flat, and the return can sometimes beat the quarter flat or beat the outside quarter as well. So I'm really thinking he's just running match here, right? I'm not sure what made me guess that, but he wasn't in match. It looks like just a basic cover 3 on one side, cover 2 on the other. But this is kind of the benefit of using QB Playmaker in Mud. You get used to just rolling out and playmakering someone, right? And because I was able to here, you could see I was able to roll out pretty much with ease. I'm able to just playmaker this player. There was no one really near it. We playmaker him and we get a solid gain out of it. Now, once again, we're coming out with Trips X Nasty to the short side of the field, flipping it. And in this one, we're calling one of our staples. Actually, not one of our staples. My apologies. We know he's in cover 4 quarters, but it doesn't really matter. If he's in cover 3 or cover 4 quarters, this is a cover 3 and cover 4 quarters beater. Because what happens is the inside third will end up sitting to the inside, covering this post. And if it's an inside quarter, he'll straight up drop to the post. Like he'll be like all the way down here. Well, no, all the way down here to cover the post. And what happens is this streak will be open, right? The comeback will drop this player here. He'll drop down and we'll be able to pass lead the streak up and outside. Now that is the goal of this route combo here. Let's see what he's in. This player's zone chucks, it looks like it was match, but a lot of pixelation. I'm actually gonna go back here so you guys can see it nice and clean. So it looked like a match defense, but at the last second, someone tried to match the tight end, but it looked like Tucker Kraft. He's a high overall player. That's one reason the Packers are still really good in this cheer. He ends up frying him, and we throw it, get a nice blue pass, rat catch it, and get ourselves a touchdown. So the benefit of having all these bombs at your disposal is they kind of can only run a few shells. And the few shells that they can run get burnt by things like that, right? In breaking routes that they can't really expect, or your player just wins in a man coverage assignment, right? Or wins against a man coverage assignment. So those are the types of touchdowns you can expect in Trips X Nasty because they can only run so few shells. Now, what are we calling here? Hopefully it's a good play. They usually are. Slot fade H wheel. In this case, it looks like we're just going to call one of our staple combos. We're on the middle hash, so you got to keep that in mind. There's only so much you can do on the middle hash because zones, if you haven't studied the middle hash, like many people don't, I'm one of those people that the middle hash, I have a couple plays, but I don't have a ton of plays that I like. So in this case, I'm just running inside zone. But because I notice that he's really been keying in on this RPO, you're going to see he kind of stacks on this side. But this also means that the hole will be open just to run it with my running back, right? So I'm running inside zone here. Chances are this is going to be a solid gain. It's really hard to shoot the inside zone from that position. You're going to see Josh Jacobs able to get a big chunk right there, right? That's the benefit of the Bucs playbook. you have access to not only trips X nasty, but you have that trips tight end, you have that trio Y flex, which have great RPOs, great runs, and just a lot of different things in them that you can throw at your opponent. Now back in trips X nasty to the short side here, you're gonna see that we're actually gonna, it looks like, yeah, we're gonna call high-low dig. High-low dig, really good combo, because that whip is unguardable. They have to switch it. Now, once again, you see he's not in a good hover spot. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna call inside zone again, but right there, the safety actually comes down, and we miss a block. If our tight end had picked up that safety, that probably ends up being a touchdown, but safety comes in, Josh Jacobs breaks the tackle immediately, gets us our first down. Now, our goal at this point, and you have to keep this in mind, is there's 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. Now, we might take our touchdown in some cases, but in most cases, we want to take as much time off the clock as we can to make sure that Fancy doesn't have all of that time for himself to score right before half and kind of double dip the chip, kind of spoiling the first play there. So after the 2-minute warning, once again, he's not in a good spot. We're going to run inside zone. All of our blocks are picked up. Now in this case, we have to kind of make a decision. Do we go for the touchdown? We kind of do. We're in a spot where we have to score now, right? So Fancy can double dip the chip here. That is, I think he may get ball at half. So what he can do is score before half and score after half and put us pretty much at a 2-possession kind of loss or a 2-possession difference there, right? And what are we doing? He's still in the wrong spot. So we're going to call inside zone. He ends up sitting in the right spot at the last second, but he still gets picked up. We call inside zone and just walk into the end zone, right? You can't be afraid to just run, right? That's something I like to talk about in general. If someone is going to give you 7-8 yards running every time, why mix it up with the pass? So he's just not in the right spots. We're running inside zone. It just works, right? That's part of the reason Trips X Nasty is so good. It is a trip set. So if you are able to find a hole to the side of the field that you're running to, the trip side, you have those 3 blockers and you can get some big chunk gains. Fancy, unfortunately, does end up scoring a very quick touchdown. So we're kind of back on offense with a minute left, down 7. We go back to the RPO flag glitch here. Now, once again, this is patched. As you can see, probably why it's one of the most overpowered things in the game. But don't get me wrong, the RPO in general with the bubble on, in trips formations, trio Y flex, still very good right now, like still extremely viable. And I do use it when I'm in the Buccaneers playbook, right? So what you're going to see here is we're on the middle hash again. So we can't call anything too crazy because we want to be able to predict how the zones will play. And when you're on the middle hash, if you haven't studied the middle hash, you don't actually have a perfect middle here. We're kind of to the left, right? You can't really predict how the zones play. So you need to go to something very fundamental. And in this case, we're going to high-low cross, simple high-low read on the right. You're going to see that he actually Mables. He has a hard flat here. So he kind of got sick of us hitting the out route and the crab. He Mables. He has a cloud here and a hard flat, and everything looks to be covered. The streak might have been open for a TD, but as you can see, nothing's open. So we're probably going to throw the ball away, hopefully before we get sacked. Yeah, and it's a 3rd and inches, 27 seconds left before the half. So we definitely need to score quick. Now I say score quick, and then you see me call inside zone. That's kind of a crazy sequence here, but you're going to see he doesn't end up shooting it. So that's one thing you can kind of do, right? I will admit, if someone's trying to shoot through one gap, if you're quick enough, you can just run through the other, right? And that's what we did there. Caller timeout got our first, right? Because the biggest thing is if we didn't get that 3rd and inches, would have been 4th. He would have called his timeout, and it could have gotten bad fast. We couldn't really punt because he would probably get 3. And if we went for it, if we didn't get that 4th, he would definitely get 3 and possibly a touchdown. But luckily, we called the inside zone, the safe play, and we're back. We're back in something pretty basic. Now, what is the benefit of the combo I'm about to show you? Now, this is something that I will admit I don't run a ton, but the goal here is we have this crosser that's going to drop this safety, allowing us to throw this streak inside of a deep half. That's the goal of this play, right? It's unique. It's kind of crazy, but it does work, right? It's a really aggressive play, but you're going to see this inside third, he ends up switching, so he doesn't end up dropping. He has to respect this streak, number 1, or this crosser. He's kind of on both. That's Fancy switch in a nutshell. You can see he's actively switching to one of these 2 players here. And you're going to notice he does pull to the left. He switches to Maxwell Hairston just a little bit late, which allows us to throw this streak right over him. The inside third is far too low. He's been dropping, trying to cover the crosser, and we throw the streak and we score. Actually, we don't score. We end up at the 3-yard line, okay? So let's see what play we call here. Right here, we're still in slot fade H wheel on the middle hash. So on the middle hash, the nice thing about slot fade H wheel is this delay route becomes unguardable. No hook zone, no vert hook can cover it, right? Because I'm on the middle hash, right? No zone in the game can guard it. And as long as I'm able to see that before he sees that, I can hit that read and score. And I actually did, but it was open for the brief second. He pulled to the left and we just highball it to the tight end and we end up scoring, right? Super good, 12 seconds left. But I am not gonna lie, he definitely did score. He definitely did score before half, unfortunately. So we were still down 7 and he was getting ball at half. Luckily for us, however, he did throw us a book right back. So it's like that touchdown kind of almost never happened, but not exactly never happened, but it put us in a good position to get back in this game. So we're back on offense at this point. And the first play we call on offense is a bomb, right? So we've noticed at this point, and I've talked about it a lot, he is in a cover 3, so like this, or he's in a cover 4 quarters, like this, or he's in a deep half here. Now we're taking a guess here. Now our first play on offense, we are going for a bomb because he's been in a cover 3 like this or a cover 4 pretty much the entire time, right? Occasionally mixing up a cover 2, but if we can catch him just once in one of those defenses, we know that Christian Watson is fast enough where we can hit this bomb. So what you're going to see here is we're just going to on target. We call our bomb play. And the way the bomb works, I should probably mention, this is just a deep tight end post or deep post in general. It's the stock post and slot fade each wheel. Comeback will bring down this deep zone and this streak can be thrown open. But because he's in cover 4 quarters shaded underneath, this player is actually going to drop to the tight end. He's going to match on to this tight end. And what you're going to see is he matches to the tight end. You can see matches. He switches too late, and then we could just throw it over him. You can see it's a wide open touchdown. It's extremely effective and something that he has had to respect the entire game. And now he has to respect it even more because we just hit him with that one play bomb. Now, when Fancy got back on offense, he, luckily for us, threw us an easy interception, right? Something he probably wasn't expecting to throw, but it looked like it was open, and then it got covered immediately by my match shell, which we'll cover a lot in future Solosimo 2 videos. The match shell I like against Bunch X Nasty. But we were back on offense, and we were actually in a great position. Tie game, you know, third quarter, all we need to do is put the ball in the end zone and we can really take control of this game. So on 2nd and 10, after an almost D-line pick, what do we notice? He's not hovering in the right spot again. So what do? We call inside zone, right? Josh Jacobs, not the fastest running back, so we are getting some chunk gains, but we're not, just sprinting into the end zone. So if he's not in that hover spot, he's going to get toted on. I think he's kind of realized this by now. So we're on a 3rd and 1, but to make sure that he has to respect the short side, and this is not just that he has to respect it, but short side Trips X Nasty has a lot of unique combos that you can use. Like one of my favorites is this flat and delay. This delay is actually uncoverable on the short side, like really unguardable, and it gets extremely wide open, right? And that's one of the best plays that you can use in general when you're running Trips X Nasty, especially if you're mixing in the short side. So what we're also doing is we're putting a wheel route on our running back, which will pull any deep zones to the inside, allowing us to throw a stem down corner, right? So on this play, he has to respect both the delay route and this corner. It's a very basic combo. You're gonna see on this play, he switches to the corner. The wheel is open, but you can see the delay route even more open, right? So we throw the delay, it's a super dot, right? Just a top of the line play. So in this play, we're calling motion spot Y corner. Now, why are we calling this? Well, he's been running a lot of cover 2, right? Just a lot. When I mean cover 2 is he's running cover 2 to the wide side, right? So C2. And then he's running cover 3 to the short side. So he's kind of essentially rolling his coverage to the left. But this crosser will freeze this inside third, allowing us to throw this streak for a touchdown in this window here. But I guarantee, I don't believe I got this touchdown here. I'm curious to see what he ran. You're going to see we untarget his user to try to get the loop to get picked up. And right here, you're going to see he's actually in a, I was wrong about the way he was rolling his coverage. He actually looks like he has a cover 4 on the left here and a cover 2 on the right. Okay. So what you're going to see is everything's pretty much covered. We throw our drag though, we get ourselves, 3-4 yards. Actually, we got 6 yards there and make it a 3rd and 7. So the bomb wasn't actually open, but we got our drag. Now this is a key part of the game, not really part of the scheme, but you can see Jordan Love at this point, because he's been hit, has -5 throw on the run, -3 speed, -2 carry, -2 mid throw accuracy, and -2 throw power. So at this point, I'm thinking, what if I put Malik Willis in? And that's exactly what I did. He's fast, he's pretty solid. There's no way it doesn't work out for me, right? So in this play, what we're going to is we're in short side trip 6 nasty with Malik Willison. I want to mention that again. And we're audibling to trio Y flex. Now we're utilizing the cheat motion in trio Y flex when we audible to it, and we're immediately putting this player on a slot fade, right? And he'll retain this slot fade after we complete the motion. So what you're going to see here is that the slot fade is going to be a really good play because it's always open. Like versus cover 3, this guy, this outside third, will pull to the inside. Versus cover 4, he'll pull to the inside, allowing you to throw the slot fade. Versus cover 2, he drops, allowing you to throw the slot fade for a touchdown, right? And you're actually going to see he was in a cover 2 here, and we have it. We have this wide open slot fade. He doesn't guard it. I go to throw it. Malik Willis overthrows it, right? So we had our touchdown there, we had our lead, and we end up overthrowing it. So it's really unfortunate. But even after that overthrow, we still had a chance on 4th and 7. And we went to one of our staples, this unguardable return, and we thought maybe he'd run a cover 2 because it's so close to the end zone. It's usually pretty safe. And we end up calling this play, right? We look for the return, the delay, and the slot fade. And in this case, you're actually going to see that, well, the return was open, but not open for enough. And we end up turning the ball over on downs after that unfortunate overthrow, and just kind of he played good defense on the late down there. Now Fancy does unfortunately end up scoring on us here, so we gotta score and probably clock him out of the game if we want to win. So we go to the RPO flag glitch here. Once again, this is patched as it stands right now, but you can still run it with the bubble and it's still very effective, going from trip 6 nasty on the short side to trio Y flex on the wide side. So 2nd and inches here, we got Jordan Love back in the game. Obviously, we can't deal with Malik Willis, but you see, he's not actually hovering in the right spot again. And this is the perfect time to really run the ball, because if we can run the ball, well, we're going to get some monster gains. Because not only will we, well, really the benefit is not only the monster gains, but we're able to tick time off the clock. We really want to score with like 0 seconds on the clock. That's our main goal. And if he's not willing to shoot our runs, we're going to try to get, as many as we can. Right there, Josh Jacobs just stiff-armed the defensive back into the ground. But that's our goal here. We want to be able to run the ball consistently, chew the clock, and score with, 0 seconds. Now, 2nd and 7, not a good rundown. So we go from short side trips X to wide side, and we're going to one of our staples, right? I get a little bit repetitive at the end of this game here, it appears, but this is still a very effective combo. We got this beautiful delay route and this return. We just make the read kind of between them, and if they are in a cover 2, will have the tight end or the slot fade late in the play. So here we are. He has to respect both. I'm really letting the clock run and actually going to the 2-minute warning. I was that's just the best thing to do in this situation, because once again, we want to leave 0 time on the clock. So we're calling plays that will not only get us down the field, but also keep us in bounds. So we go to the high-low dig play that we like so much. We have this unguardable whip route, this pretty much unguardable return, and then the curl route on the tight end as a late read. And what you're going to notice here is he ends up switching this player, and we hit the return though. That's the nice benefit of it. If you can really just look at the switch, you will pretty much always have an open read. It's a very, very rudimentary route combo. You look, okay, there's the switch, look over there. There's the switch, look over there, right? It's a neat route combo. And if they cover both, maybe with zone, whatever it may be, just look to the curl, because that route is likely to be open. Now on 1st and 10, he realizes the situation. He cannot afford to hover in the wrong place. So he's hovering directly over the defensive tackle. We're untargeting, but as you can see, if they hover directly over the defensive tackle, you cannot just spam inside zone. As good as inside zone is, if they do not have a good hover, you can't use it when they do have a good hover. That is, they're over that defensive tackle, right? So back to it right here. We're calling, this is a really good play that I probably should have called more throughout this game. The way it works is we have a streak on square, a post, a running back table, like that kind of turns into a wheel late. It's more like a table, drag, and delay route, right? You're really pushing everything to that left side of the field, and you're just trying to make the read, right? Between the post, the drag, and the delay. And in this case, he ends up switching right down to the wheel, leaving the streak open, but we end up overthrowing it. But that's honestly not the worst thing to happen. We would have liked to score. Although you see he has 42 points, we have gotten 2 to 3 stops on him thus far, and we were pretty confident to get another. But nonetheless, it's okay. It puts us in a position to clock the game more than anything, as long as we can convert on this 3rd and 12. And on this 3rd and 12, it looks like we're coming out and we're running a short side play. It's a good play. It's kind of like the delay route play. We have the running back wheel, the stem down corner, and once again, the wheel route kind of acts like a streak. It'll hold the deep zones to the inside, and then the backside drag and the backside return. We actually put a post on this time, probably a better call considering it's 3rd and 12. And in this case, you're going to see the wheel route might be open here. The return route looks like it's covered, but the out route is probably the most open. And in this case, we throw the return and incomplete. So 4th and 12, right? Running short side combos, granted, I think short side trips X nasty is really good and you can run it, but it doesn't have too much to be able to get large yardage, right? And I think that's something I realized as I run more wide side than anything. So it's something to be aware of. Although you can catch a lot of opponents off guard and it's still great, it's not exactly something you want to use on, you know, a 3rd and 12 like I just did there. As you can see, 4th and 12, I skip the whole short side in general, and I am in wide side trips X nasty. Now, in this play, we're going to break it down step by step. How does it work? We're going to put a flat on R1. This will just make it so hook curls cannot guard the delay. And the delay route, if we throw it and get a good rack, 1st down. And then we have this post. If there's nothing over the middle, we're going to throw it. But the main benefit here, he's been using hard flats. Granted, they're stemmed to about 10 yards, but it doesn't matter if they're stemmed or not. A hard flat on the short side of the field will pull in to guard a running back streak. And what you're going to notice is this is a common theme throughout the drive. On key downs, he uses those stemmed up hard flats. And what you're going to see here is the hard flat is going to pull inside. He switches and he pulls inside. Right there was just an outside zone, but the slot corner was in the hard flat. So I'll go back a little bit so you guys can see it. This slot corner is in a hard flat. So he's staying to the inside, right? And it ends up just leaving that outside, you know, speed out for 10 to 15 yards. It gets us the 1st down, right? I'm actually looking at the screen. You can't see it right now, but I'm actually looking directly at the screen saying, oh my goodness, what was he in there, right? But that was a hard flat that we're manipulating by using that halfback streak. So in this case, we want to run the clock, right? We are willing to take our time down the field here, even if it means not moving down the field very efficiently. So we're flipping, we're doing all that we can to make our run effective. And in this case, he's not in a good hover spot. So we're going to run this inside zone, I think. Yeah, run the inside zone. You see, huge hole, easy 10 yards, right? So we're in a great spot here, right? We're down 7, which obviously sucks, but we are in a good spot. And you're going to notice right here, you're actually going to see 17 seconds left. If we score at this point, great, right? We are in a excellent spot. We throw this streak, it's open, we don't get it, right? A lot of overthrows this drive. That was Malik Willis, but we did get a green, so it was just a straight up overthrow. We need to get into this end zone. So 2nd and 10, 14 seconds left. What do we call? Well, we got high-low cross here. Are we going to run it to the short side? I actually like this combo. We're running the curl and the comeback, and our goal here is to throw the running back. And the running back's open, wide open. We get a little bit of a bad rack, and we get out of bounds. So it didn't end up working, our plan there. So 3rd and 8, game on the line. We need to get into the end zone, right? Whether it be on this play or the next. We have no timeouts, so it'd be very difficult for us to stay in bounds. We have to not only kind of get a 1st down or get in the end zone, but we also have to get out of bounds. So on this play, we gun for the same thing that worked for us before, right? Which is this running back streak and then this speed out route. And he once again makes the same mistake. He's got a hard flat on the field. The hard flat pulls inside. Even though the speed out's manned up, it'll just win, right? Excellent dot. He once again is just stemming those hard flats, and those hard flats will pull inside to late flat attackers like running back streaks, drags, zigs, things of that nature. Now we're going for 2. And because he has been zone dropping this entire game, and he's been using those hard flats, we call our hard flat beater for this 2-point conversion, right? And the way this works is we have the running back streak, and then we have this speed out. And this is just a top of the line play. This hard flat, which he has to be using a hard flat here, will pull inside, allowing us to throw the speed out for a touchdown. But what you're going to notice here is for some reason, the hard flat pulls and I throw it, but he somehow, some way, ends up being able to swat it. This just is insane to me. I mean, like, I'm looking directly at the camera. He ends up swatting this down, and we lose the game. But we got another game against him running the San Francisco 49ers version of the Trips X Nasty. But you can see, really unfortunate. We almost came out with the win in that one. We played some good offense. We played some bad offense. And we played, you know, really every single aspect. We made every mistake. We did it, everything that you could do right. We did on a particular play, right? Really hectic game and a great game versus Fancy, but it also showcases all the cool things you could do in Trips X Nasty. Okay, game number 2, we're starting on offense, and we're not doing the Flip X Nasty at this point. We're just in straight up Trips X Nasty in the 49ers playbook. And we're starting off with a staple combo. Once again, streak the tight end, slot fade R1, return, and delay route. Just making that left to right read, right? It might be reversed on your screen, right? But nonetheless, wherever he switches, we throw opposite, right? It really is that simple. And in this case, you're going to see he switches upfield. He doesn't guard pretty much anything. And we're just going to throw this return route. We take a big hit, but we get ourselves, a clean 6 yards and move on to second down. Now on second down, we go for the bomb. And specifically, something I've done a lot more is I've done rollout bombs. So that is, we're going to full slide our line to the left, and we're going to untarget Micah Parsons. And the bomb, of course, is a streak on our tight end, a slot fade stemmed up 4.5 times. It's a big one. The reason it's 4.5 is it'll get over all the deep zones, and it's just perfect for getting over the deep zones, but also cutting quick enough where it's not just sitting near the inside deep zones. And when I say 4 times, I mean 4 times with the D-pad and 1 time with the left stick. So, and this out route is stemmed up 2.5 times. Really is the perfect depth for a bomb like this. And you're going to see we're going to have it. We are going to have this bomb here. We're going to full slide to the left. But the problem is we kind of rolled back. Instead of rolling directly to the left, we rolled backwards. And what this does is allow Micah Parsons to pursue us, and we don't get the rollout we need. And even though R1 is about to be a touchdown, you can see this guy's not going to recover. This is Brian Thomas. He's going to be a touchdown. We're just in a bad spot. Micah Parsons can pursue us. We rolled really poorly, and it puts us on a third down. Now, this game we started pretty slow, I will admit. We started pretty slow, but it does pick up very quickly. So 3rd and 4, we're in high-low cross. Staple play, and something I'm doing a lot more here, you'll actually see with this combo, if I can pause it another time, I do not, is a curl and a comeback on this side of the field with this running back crab route. This really attacks all 3 areas of one side of the field. The curl will attack the hook zone area. The comeback will attack the deeper flat area. And the crab route will attack the low flat area. So they have to have a Mabel and a hook zone to guard all of them, or a really good switch stick. And then, of course, late in the play, we have this backside return and this tight end crosser if either of them are open. And what you're going to see is he's going to switch on to this slot corner and kind of bait us. So we're thinking we can't throw the running back, we look away, but the delay's open, or rather the return's open late, but we missed the read, right? So he kind of baited us there. That's something we got to be aware of. We have to realize he's going to switch around. We can stare at routes sometimes. If we're patient, we're going to be able to hit him. Like right there, my running back was open, and I also stepped too far back in the pocket. Just too many mistakes on one play. It was a great route combo. We had things open nonetheless. Now in this play, we're calling high-low dig. High-low dig, we have this unguardable long whip route. We have this in route stemmed up 2 times. We have this return. The long whip and the return are unguardable, right? No zone in the game will actually guard them. And then you have the benefit of the speed table here. They're not running flats, and the out route pushes any flats out, opening up this whip route. Now, the only thing that can really guard this whip is something like match, right? If he's using match, then the whip actually can be guarded. And what you're actually going to see here is he was actually in match here. This guy ended up matching him, right? Might have been a matching vert hook or a matching quarter flat. So I guess every stock zone, I guess is the best way to put it. Match zones are kind of like man, so they can kind of play it. But you're going to see, in this case, we have this return for a window, but he's sprinting down to it, kind of covering both this in route and this return at once with his user. He's matched. This guy's open late, but nonetheless, we go to throw the return, and he had already been there. So our first drive was an unfortunate turnover. Now, this next play looks something like this. Now, this is the play switch HB wheel, and I'm doing something really unique here. I've realized at this point, Fancy will not be giving up the traditional bombs because he's running a cover 2 on this side and he's running a cover 3 on this side. But the nice thing about switch HB wheel is not only does this short post get open, right? Gets under deep zones. It's really effective route, beats man, but it also drops inside thirds. So this player is going to drop down. And then this corner route is going to pull the deep half outward. So the deep half is going to be out here. So if he's dropped and the deep half's out here, what does that open up? The streak. The streak right here. There's a lot of text on screen, a lot of drawing on screen, or telestration is what they call it. Took me a while to figure that out, I'm not going to lie. We also set up the rollout. So I'm full sliding to the left, and I'm untargeting Micah Parsons. So this is a rollout bomb. I'm rolling out to the left. You can see we pick up Micah Parsons this time. This player is freezing. He's frozen. This half is going out here. And Fancy's probably telling himself, don't get bombed. And what you're going to see is, well, despite being under pressure, Trevor Lawrence just chucks it. I got to say, this is one of the best throws I've ever had with a quarterback. And you're going to see it's open. Granted, it did pixelate a little bit. So let's see it one more time, right? Let's go back a little bit. But you can see, boom, it's wide open. We hit it. Unfortunately, we underthrew it just a little bit, but I can't blame him. He was under pressure nonetheless. And we get all the way downfield in that one big play.
I just can't let him bomb me. Oh, I mean, this guy's just the GOAT. This dude has this, like, he's the greatest ever at just bombing every defense.
Now, this is what you're going to see a lot in this game. The way people try to shoot runs, just like you saw in that last game, is they hover over the defensive tackle. But HB Draw counters that, like crazy counters that. So take a look here. You're going to see he's going to hover over the DT or just kind of be in the area. Call HB Draw. It's so hard to stop in dollar. It's one of those plays that you have to be so patient and just wait for the run to come to you. And it's something you just don't want to do, because if I do call inside zone and you wait for the run to come to you, I'm just going to run all over you, right? And you're going to see he's getting right over the DT this time. He's right on him. He's thinking he's going to shoot inside zone, and it's draw again. And we walk into the end zone, right? So a bomb and 2 draws, and we're in the end zone. It really shows how efficient TripSex Nasty can actually be. Now, we actually end up getting a stop on Fancy at his own 4-yard line, just a ton of sacks. And what are we going to go back to? Well, HB Draw, right? It worked before. He pretty much can't shoot it. So if we run HB Draw a few times, we can probably confidently get into the end zone. Now, right there, he got a diving animation on us. We got stopped at the 1. And we do something that we do a lot to get into the end zone, and that's get an iPhone Y off close, set up goal line personnel, and then so we can audible, or rather, this allows us to audible to goal line and call QB sneak if he's in 4-down line, HB sting if he's in goal line 5-3. Just a lot of great goal line runs, right? Now, this is something that I will do pretty much every time I'm in the red zone. So you're going to see iPhone Y off close. I'm double checking my personnel here, and we're going to call, hopefully here, we're going to call HB stretch, right? And now based on what he shows on defense, will determine how we decide to counter on offense. If he's just in, so he's in regular goal line here. We have the numbers to the left. We're just going to run stretch here, right? That's just the right call. It's very difficult to stop stretch and goal line. I cut it up the middle because someone ends up getting us. It was actually great goal line run D, and we end up getting into the end zone, taking a 7-point early lead on Fancy. But nonetheless, we turn it over early in the game. So this essentially just makes the game even and puts us up 7. Fancy responds with the touchdown of his own, and we're going to go back to the basics here. We're just going to call high-low cross. It worked for us the previous time we are on offense. Throw the running back, get ourselves as many yards as we can. Right here, we break a tackle, and we end up getting 4, right? You have to make your opponents respect those flats, because otherwise they're just going to run deep flats, right? So they have to respect the running back, the low routes, your flats, and if they do not respect them, they're just going to run curl flats on you, and you're not going to have anything. You're going to be on a 3rd and 10, having to throw against deep flats. Now, right there, he ends up shooting the HB draw. I kind of just ran it too slow. I didn't run through the right gap. Occasionally, HB draw can result in a loss, but it is something, it's one of those runs that it's really worth it, because the times it results in a loss are like 1 in 6, and the times it results in a 10-plus yard gain are like 4 in 6, right? So we go to one of our staples here. As you can see, our return route's wide open, but we throw the slot fade because it's a bigger game, right? The slot fade, he's in a cover 2. Take a look here. We have this player. We have this delay for a pass lead to the inside, but since he's in a cover 2, we also have this player for a more rewarding read, right? We have pretty much everything on this play, and we throw it, but we end up overthrowing it a little bit. Occasionally, slot fades, you can overthrow them to the sideline, especially against cover 2, even when they're open. The reason this happens is because you have to pass lead pretty much as far as you can to throw that slot fade. And occasionally, if you throw it too late, it ends up being an overthrow. So we go back to switch HB wheel here. And what are we calling here? Actually, I love this play that I'm about to break down. So this one, we're still gunning for a cover 2 because we have the streak and we have the slot fade. But this running back in route, something that I've been really experimenting with, will pull inside any hard flat zone. So if this is a hard flat, he's going to pull way inside, allowing us to throw this out route that we've stemmed up just 1/2 notch. That is just a little flick on the left stick. So it's about a 7 to 8 yard out route. And what you're going to see here is hopefully it's a conversion, but this is one of my favorite plays overall. If none of those are open, just look to the post, right? The post a lot of times just beats every coverage. In this case, this is a cloud flat, right? He's running cover 2 again. The slot fade's there, but we have to be safe. We know we've overthrown it before, so we're just looking around for other routes. We throw our running back. He ends up getting the perfect fall forward animation. I will admit we did get a little bit lucky there. We had some things open, right? But we got a little bit scared because we overthrew it on the last one. We had that slot fade. So on our next play, we go back to our staple, right? Although I'm running this play a lot, it's because it's good. If they are in a cover 2, this slot fade can be open, right? Actually, looks like we switched it here. What are we calling here? Okay. So this is just high-low cross. This is a very basic high-low cross combo. You're really reading the high-low here, reading the return late. Very basic. You have to still make him respect it. He pulls down here, but he starts to pull back up because I believe this player is a vert hook or this player is a, I don't know what he's in, but he's pulling back up. So we throw the running back. We see him pull back up, throw the running back, and get ourselves, you know, those 5 yards. Now, on paper, this is 5 yards, right? It's 5 yards. You know, he took it. They're thinking to themselves, I have to respect that. That's annoying, right? If we did not take that route, they will just play deep flats. I've mentioned this before in this video, like literally a second ago. It's so important, and I want to reiterate it. If you do not take your flats, they will run deeper zones and just force you to a 3rd and long because you didn't take your flats. And those deeper zones will be really annoying because on 3rd and long, you'll be like, oh, I have to throw my flat now because it's the only thing open. And now you're in 4th, right? And then from there, you end up turning the ball over. So you have to take your flats, especially on those early downs. Now we're going for the bomb again here. He's in that cover 2. He switches. So you're going to actually see he switches to this player, pulls him inside. Micah Parsons just starts screaming at us here. Now, unfortunately, we miss our return and we throw the ball away. And because there was nothing on that right side of the field, because we had blocked our running back, we end up getting an intentional grounding and an early 3rd and 16. But he's been in cover 2 this entire time. So we call it very basic cover 2 beater. We have this slot fade. We know this player is in a deep half. So he will not play R1 unless he switches him, right? R1 is there. I could throw this. We don't throw it. We look to the return late. We take a sack. 4th and 29. This is one of those situations where I believe we just punt the ball. It's just the right thing to do. So unfortunately, 2 drives here. We kind of just turned the ball over. Well, turned the ball over and punted. We're calling something a little bit different. This is switch HB wheel, but the benefit here, or rather the way we're setting it up, is like motion wide post. We have a slant, a table, a post, a return, and a streak. Very basic combo. First read is the slant. Second read is the post, right? Third read is the return. And as long as and we just make the read, right? It's a very basic read. It's harder to switch. You're going to see on this play, return is guarded, slant is guarded. He switches the post, right? And nothing's open. But Trevor Lawrence is 88 speed. So we're actually able to get ourselves into a 3rd and 3. But you could see, fancy switch stick is kind of piling on. He's switching really quick. He's taking away the bread and butter. So we have to start designing just better route combos to beat this cover 2 hybrid defense. And that's what we start doing. So in this play, we're in switch HP wheel, and we're going to try to freeze his inside 3rd. But if the inside 3rd doesn't freeze, it's completely fine because in this case, we have the high-low between the drag and this post, right? And then we also have this wheel. So even if this inside 3rd here doesn't drop down, that's completely fine because we still have a very fundamental route combo on the field, right? We actually have a return on this time. Snap the ball here, and then he's in a cover 4. Switches down to go guard that post. The corner route is open. We miss the read, and we throw a pick, right? Really bad start to this game, right? We're down at this point. I think we do catch up to him here. We end up making the tackle somehow. We end up going down really bad, right? He actually does, I believe, score here. Now, this is bomb number 1. The way this one works, and it's really, really effective, is this crossing route pulls down an inside 3rd. So in this case, if the inside 3rd is from here, which it likely is, he will pull down, and you could throw this streak to the inside of the deep half. So the deep half's going to go here, the inside 3rd's going to drop, and then you're going to have this streak over the top. And you're going to see, as soon as he starts running the show, we just like, okay, we know what he's in. Let's just bomb it at this point. And that's what we do. We throw this streak, pass lead it inside, and it's a wide open score. We're still not out of this game. Down 14 without ball. We are still not out of this game. After getting a stop, down 14, we have the ball. And in this case, he doesn't have a good run shoot. We're going to call HB draw. Unfortunately, his defensive tackle insta-sheds us, right? 2nd and 11, right? Now, once again, I really want to say this. We have to score quickly, but we know what coverage shell he is in. What we're doing here is we're going to try to once again freeze this inside third. So that bomb combo beats cover 4. We're like, you know what? He's for sure in the cover 3 hybrid. We call this crosser, knowing he's going to drop, and we can throw this streak over him, right? Make him respect it, and we need points fast, and that's what we're going to call. You're going to see he's going to drop down, and then the streak is open, but we didn't have time for it, right? We didn't have time for it. We end up on a 3rd and 11. Unfortunately, the Packers defensive line just sheds us really, really bad. On 3rd and 11, we actually go to a different bomb play. This one is, if he's in a cover 2 or a cover 3, we're going to be able to throw this streak. We're thinking at this point, he's not going to run a cover 2 because he doesn't want to give up the slot fade. But he ends up running the cover 2 again. But you're going to see, because he drops this inside third, he's going to switch and drop him a little bit. The streak over here ends up getting inside of the half. This was a little lucky, I will admit. But if someone switches so aggressively, you're actually able to pass lead streaks, especially in Tripsex Nasty on the middle receiver, to the inside, right? And it becomes a wide open touchdown there. Not wide open. It becomes a touchdown there. Now for our 2-point play, the play we're actually using is the same one that we ran before. Knowing that if he runs a hard flat on this player or this player, they're going to pull inside and leave this speed out open. And that's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to pull inside. I'm going to try to pretty much make this a 6-point lead instead. They're going to pull inside. We have the speed up, but we underthrow it, right? The ball really should have been positioned kind of over here, but it ends up here. So this player comes down and he's going to be able to just swat it away. Really unfortunate, but at least at this point, we know we can trust it if we get into another situation. And there's some other things on that combo you're going to see that make it just insane. So we actually end up holding Fancy to 3, down a grand total of 11 points right now. We still have a chance to get back in this game. And the play we're opening with is a rollout bomb. So I'm rolling out to the left here. So Micah Parsons is going to get pushed to the inside. And I'm going to make the read between this streak and this crossing route, right? Because what happens is the inside third will drop to the crosser and allow us to throw the streak. And if he switches to go play the streak, we're going to have the crosser, right? And since we're rolling out, we're going to have time for both. So you can see, roll out to the left, he switches to guard the streak, and we throw the crosser. Really annoying route combo to deal with because he has to deal with the bomb and the crosser. We throw the crosser, get ourselves a good 20+ yard gain. So key 3rd and 9, we need a big play, maybe even a touchdown, and we know the defense he's going to run, right? It's not going to be a cover 4. He's pretty much told us that he wants to run this cover 2. So we call motion spot Y corner. And on this play, what you're going to see is the crosser will once again bring down the inside third here, allowing us to throw this streak for a 1-play touchdown. So take a look here. All you're going to see is that inside third is going to drop. He actually switches to make him drop even further, and we just throw that pass lead inside streak, right? Super simple at this point. Down 5, and we're actually going to go for 2 and call the combo that we like because we know it's open. It's been open the entire time. The streak running back, out route, right? And what you're going to see is the hard flat's going to pull inside. I'm going to pass lead as far as I can, and we get the possession catch that time. It's been open the entire time. It was open in our last game. It was open the previous time we called it this game. But nonetheless, we get it. Great play. Only down 3 now. Now, we got Fancy to a 3rd and 10. And you're probably like, why are we showing defense? Did you get a stop here? I wish we got a stop here. We play good defense. We force him out to the right. And I want to showcase how Fancy kind of got down the field at this moment. What you're going to see is on snap, I call a solid defense. He chucks it up right into coverage, and aggressive catches us. Super unfortunate. And that's kind of how he got down the field, and he ended up scoring on this drive as well. Now, we got into an early 2nd and 7. We call a solid combo on the middle hash. We're calling high-low dig with a crosser and a streak and a return. Nothing's really open, so we go to throw the ball away, and he gets a D-line pick 6. Right? So he immediately gets that D-line pick 6, and at this point, we are down 17 points with only 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in the game. And we're going to do something that not many of the stakers on this game understood. We're going to kick 3. We're actually kicking 3. Because we're down 3 possessions, we have to make it 2. So that's what we did. We made it 2 possessions, right? So you're probably like, okay, is this video over now? This video is not over. Did we get this onside? You're probably wondering. The answer is no, but I want to pay attention. I want you guys to see something. There's only one guy back there. That's important. That is important for this story, okay? That one guy being back there tells me something that I could use later in the game, right? Did it work? I don't know, but we try this onside. He's going to grab it. Unfortunate. It was a decent onside, and he gets it. So in this place, at this point, he's just going to run the ball. After running twice, he ends up on a 3rd and 12, and he's probably just going to run again, kick 3, end the game, be up, 3 possessions just like he was before. But you're actually going to see something amazing happens here. We run, and we hit stick him. And we pick up the fumble before it even hits the ground, and we return it for 6 points. This ends up actually putting us back in the game a little bit, right? Because we could get an onside after this and get back in the game. The other thing that I'm going to do here is to make it a 6-point lead. Actually, I'm doing it right now. This is what I was talking about with the onside. I'm actually putting a player with low kick power in to try one of the very unique onsides that I've labbed up, right? If you see the onside, comment down below and say I'm going to try it because it is insane. We end up putting Myers in because I think he has you don't want someone who's 18 overall. I think there's no science to it. You just want someone with really low kick power. 18 overall means they probably have 0. So we're actually going to go for 2 here, right? And the nice thing about going for 2 in these situations is if you're able to score near the end, you don't have to worry about going for 2, right? Because the game's over. You just kick your PAT, you win the game. And we go for 2. We know that this speed out is likely going to be open or he's going to switch it. But on the backside, right, pause, we have this hitch and comeback combo, which we know the comeback will always be open against hard flats and cloud flats. And it doesn't matter if it's man, that comeback will be open, right? And Fancy thus far has not adjusted to it. You can see the speed out is actually open, even though, I thought he was going to switch to it. I had looked away at this point. I'm thinking there's no way he gives it up again. But the comeback actually is open, and we hit that right in the corner, only down 6 at this point, and we're going for the onside with Jacoby Myers at kickoff specialist. Okay, so we get that low kick power. Call strong onside because that's the best way to pick it up. And what we're going to do is aim it all the way to the right, and we're going to aim the kick meter. I'm pointing at it like you guys can see. You're going to aim the kick meter right here. So here's the marker. You're going to aim this all the way to the left. And then you want your power to be really low, like just under this first or second arrow, okay? And we call this onside. We kind of almost get it perfect, right? Just on the second arrow, all the way to the left. And we get our hands on it, but we don't pick it up. And Fancy kneels out the game, and we end up losing. But overall, 2 crazy games versus Fancy. One we almost got back into, and the other where we almost scored a 2-point conversion to win. 2 crazy games. Nonetheless, Tripsex Nasty and its explosiveness had kept us in the entire time. Great games to Fancy all around. And if you want to check out another Swolosimo 2 video, check it out right here. It's going to be going over a top-of-the-line defense you can use against the U-Trips offense, or really any 3x1 offense, to get yourself a lot more wins online.